Welcome to the 2019 Triangle Area Smart City Summit. I'm Dennis Kekas. I'm Associate Vice Chancellor at NC State University in the Partnership Office. And it's my honor to welcome all of you and kind of launch the events today. This is the third one of these events. The first one was at NC State, and the last two have been here, including today. And we have quite an agenda for everyone. So thank you for being here. Well, I'm speaking on behalf of NC State. You may ask, well, what's the university's role in smart cities, since it implies, municipalities and a lot of other things. And it's really the confluence of the technologies that are behind the smart cities movement. And from a university perspective, I won't go into all the dimensions of how it may cross-pollinate, but it's the support for these would come through our faculty as well as our graduate students and undergraduates, as the case may be. And the dimensions of like big data and analytics, smart grid, advances in power electronics, advanced wireless, which you'll hear more about today, clean energy, cybersecurity, and the list goes on and on. So we feel that the Smart Cities focus is a very good agenda to kind of, in a systems construct way, bring together a lot of interdisciplinary interactions. And the university particularly embraces this because at the end of the day, you still want this to get deployed for the benefit of society. So that's kind of why we're here, and this is a little bit of how this got started. I would be remiss, she's not here today, but to thank Mayor McFarland, who's really been a staunch supporter of helping this occur. We appreciate all that she's done to support this event, as well as the great things she's done for the city of Raleigh. Our hosts today are the city of Raleigh, NC State University, and the RIoT organization. And you're going to hear a little bit more about RIoT as we go through the day, because Tom Snyder is going to be your MC. So we're looking forward to that. So we have this very jam-packed agenda, so I'm not going to try to spend too much of your time so we can really focus on that. But you'll hear updates regionally, what's going on in smart cities, beyond the region, in some cases, what some of the happenings are globally. So there are a lot of other new technologies you're going to hear, what others are doing. One of the highlights that you're going to see, and the panel's going to be led by Terry Yates a little bit into the program, is on a recent award that NC State is the lead, and it's called Power. You may have seen a banner outside. Power. It's not electric power, it's this platform for advanced wireless research. This was an award by the National Science Foundation through a thing they call the Project Office because of the unique nature of it. The first two of these were awarded. One was New York City last year, and the other one was Salt Lake City. So this region, led by the university and all the entities, are really fortunate because they're in good company. Each one of them has a distinct and different mission, by the way, and that's done by design through the National Science Foundation. It's a $24 million award, including not only the cash but in-kind donations and so forth. And there are many partners. City of Raleigh, town of Cary, the university, other universities, many different corporations. I think when we looked at the proposal, there was something like 70 support letters behind this. So it's pretty inclusive of a lot of entities. So we're pretty excited about that. We're hoping this would happen so that we could share that with you today. And this happened just a few weeks ago. Also today you're going to hear people talking about innovation and various implementations, and you're going to also hear a lot about collaborations, and frankly that was really the genesis behind having this summit to bring people together, was to spur collaborations, because we believe honestly, and particularly people like myself, where we're in the partnership office and collaborations is very, very key to making things move forward in a better way. So I'd encourage everybody to reach out to those that are sitting with you at lunch. By the way, there's a very nice plated lunch this afternoon, so I'd encourage you to stay for that. A couple of our platinum sponsors will have speaker slots, so the speaking will continue through the lunch hour, and I'd encourage them to be next door. So it would be remiss also if I didn't say thank you to the sponsors. Tom Snyder will tell you a little bit more about who they are specifically, but I think last count there was something about 11 or 13 of them. Frankly, if it weren't for those sponsors, we could not host a free event open to the public like this, especially when you include the food and everything, because it's very expensive to do that, and we're very grateful to them. Also, I'd like to a special shout out and thanks to some people. You know, a lot of people work behind the scenes on these things, and as you come closer to the day, everybody kind of lends in, but along the way, it's a long journey planning the events and all the speakers and everything that go into making this up. And so from the city of Raleigh, I'd like to thank Kim Sirk and Noah Otto, who have just been great to people to work with. From NC State, it's Amy Lubis and Morgan High. And from RIoT, Catherine Griffin and Tom Snyder. So let's give them a big hand for all they've done. I don't know if she's in the room, but I did see where I believe Mayor-elect Mary Ann Baldwin. I'm looking around to see if maybe she's here yet, but just wanted to welcome her here today when she does come in. So we're looking forward to seeing the new mayor-elect. So with that, it's my great pleasure to introduce the next person, offer some welcoming remarks, and I'd like to have come to the podium and introduce to you Beth Stagner, who's the Interim Chief Information Officer for the City of Raleigh. Beth.
Good morning. So I'm not going to reiterate some of the things that Dennis brought out, but I do want to thank NC State as being a great valued partner, as well as RIoT. So in 2017, our first Triangle Smart Cities Summit, we had about 400 people, and this year we've grown to just over 500 in just a short period of time with not a lot of huge publicity going on about it. But we look forward, at least from the city, we look forward each year to bringing our community together to talk about where we've been in our past progress and to chart the upcoming year with common vision for fostering data, technology, innovation, ingenuity that creates our smarter triangle. As we continue to grow our smart platform, we must recognize how this technology touches the places and the people across the triangle. The city has been committed to bringing these technologies into some of our current outreach. Programs like the Digital Connectors, Ambassadors, and some of the other city department programs are leveraging data and IoT as a part of our community engagement. To see how the city is weaving these technologies into the work that we do, I encourage you to visit any of the demonstration tables in the lobby, because our staff is more than willing to show you what we've been working on. As Dennis mentioned, we all know the potential in this area for a smart cities platform. And I think it was heightened recently when we received the grant. Being recognized at a national level to be the third city in the US to have a 5G wireless platform just tells me that other people in the city or in the world actually realize what we're doing here. It took several years to do it, and NC State was huge in that, as well as our regional partners, but we're excited to see where that $24 million gets us. Before I introduce the host for the summit, I'd like to thank Raleigh Convention Center. I thoroughly enjoy coming to events here. They've got a great facility, and they also have great staff. And I'd like to echo the thanks for Kim Sirk with our department, as well as Noah Otto for putting this together. I also want to talk about, real quickly, our sponsors, because they're the ones that help make this possible and successful. So our platinum sponsors, AT&T and Spectrum, as well as our silver sponsors, ABB, Building Clarity, Cisco, and Crown Castle. And then our bronze sponsors, Google Fiber, Open Datasoft, Oracle Public Sector, Verizon, and Wireless Research Center. So now a little bit about our host. Tom is the Executive Director for RIoT, supporting Internet of Things and disruptive technology industry growth. By day, he runs RIoT Labs out of HQ Raleigh. In his spare time, he co-instructs Product Innovation Lab, a Forbes award-winning multidisciplinary course in innovation and entrepreneurship in North Carolina. Prior to joining RIoT, Tom held an executive leadership role at Assist Center, a National Science Foundation-sponsored effort to create wearable electronics for healthcare monitoring. Previously, he spent 2 decades in product development and technology incubation in North Carolina. He's passionate about creating and fostering collaboration across disciplines, markets, and cultures. He enjoys the outdoors, woodworking, board games, big crowds, craft beer, and ideas that are just crazy enough to work. Please join me in welcoming Tom Snyder.
All right, welcome everyone. Thanks for having me. I'll echo again the thanks to NC State University, to the City of Raleigh, to the many other collaborators that have come together to bring this program together. My name is Tom Snyder. I lead the RIoT organization. For those that aren't familiar, we're an economic development focused nonprofit here in the region. We're also part of the Wireless Research Center, who's a sponsor of this event and is participating in the platform for advanced wireless research that you heard about. I want to touch on just a couple of things before we get started. You've already heard a couple of times the discussion of collaboration. And one of the things that I believe is the reason that this region is truly becoming the center of excellence of this next phase of our economy, this data economy that's being driven by the Internet of Things, that's being driven by anything that we call smart. Right now we're talking about smart cities. In this area, we're taking that beyond smart cities. I think today you're going to hear stories about how collaboration is going from smart communities to smart cities to smart regions to smart states. A lot of work is going into collaboration in terms of data sharing, in terms of being inclusive and making sure that the solutions that are developed for all citizens, that these are things that are raising quality of life for people, that are bringing prosperity, that are bringing economic development. I'm really excited to tell the story of our first speaker, but before I do that, I do want to echo again a thanks to these sponsors. There are going to be a number of times during the day where we have some breaks. They're outside the doors. Please go by, thank them yourself, find out what projects they're working on, and I would encourage every single person here to find some way to meet someone, either one of these sponsors or someone else here in the crowd, and explore how you might collaborate together on both the projects that will be presented today and other things that are important to the strength of this region. I'll also encourage folks, we're trying to be smart about the environment and what we print and don't. There is an application that you can download with the entire agenda. We're excited to work with Guidebook on projects like this. So I'll leave this on the screen for just a moment so you can download that information, have the agenda for the entire day. All of the programming will be in this room with the exception of the lunch session, which will be next door, and we'll provide some information about that as we get closer.